So you see, we've got stuff here for infectious diseases, internal medicine, but she is actually on general surgery. So guess what? I think it's one of these 5. We have done our own analysis and whittled it down to these ones. She's been triaged through reception, had an interview. She's a little bit jaundiced. So her skin's turning yellow, right? Probably something like gallstones, for example. Anyway, we'll do a physical. We'll do, blood test is probably going to be good. We'll get into that in a minute. Right, we'll do blood pressure. We'll do abdominal palpitations, because it probably is something in the guts. There are no nappies in Project Hospital, Ruby. Unfortunately not, no. I mean, there might be, but they don't talk about it. Okay, so we'll just do some basic physical tests here for Barbara. How's everybody doing? Are we okay? Any questions? I'm open to questions. I will do my best to answer them. Even questions about nappies. I don't think there are any nappies in the game. Good. Xander, welcome to the stream. I'm so pleased you could tell you've got internet now. Yes. How is the internet, Xander? Is it, now that you've moved, is the internet stable at your place now? Is it all good? The fact that you're on the stream is probably a good sign. There may be some in the cupboards, that's it, yeah, Chrissy. I think that there could be some kicking about in some cupboards, with all that cream. You get that steroid cream? Steroid cream, you lose a lot of it in this game. Not lose, use a lot of it in this game. So Barbara Wright, do you remember all those moons ago, we treated her for poison ivy? Usually done really quickly, but because we're doing every patient took a month of Sundays, so we're going to send her home. I'm sending a patient home, everybody. Oh, it feels so good. There you go, 240 doubloons, and she is probably going to go to the pharmacy. Yep, she's going to the chair in the pharmacy to buy like her antihistamines and things like that, so that'll be additional cash. Okay. Oh, look, it's Robert Foster. We've seen him before as well with his giant cells. How are you doing? So we need to send you for the angio. That's what we decided, wasn't it? We need to send you for the angio. Yeah. I think it's going to be fine. I don't even think we're going to need to put him on the ward. This is great. Let's do an angio. All the scans are at the end here. Angio. There we go. Send him for an angio. Thank you. Oh, okay. Can just hear the sound effect from Theme Hospital. The whiplash. Whoosh! Yeah, that's a different kind of sending them home, though, isn't it? That's the we're not dealing with you, we're not treating you, get the F out. Funk along to the funky music. Funk on out of here. Paul Hall. Oh yeah, this guy. We're going to send him to infectious diseases just to try and get space here. And there's also a good tell with this, right? So we've just sent him to infectious diseases, and the game didn't automatically put him into the isolation ward, which means whatever he has is not infectious. This is where the game is a little bit flawed. It doesn't allow me to decide whether he needs to go. It would have just done it automatically, but the fact that they've sent him to regular hospitalization means whatever he's got, it's not infectious. So I can now send him to general surgery knowing that he's not going to infect people. Okay. Oh yeah. Get him out of here. Oh, this lady came in, by the way. We got her off the road. That's good. Don't know where she is. We've probably already been dealing with her and I'm just completely unaware of it. I do not have a favourite EastEnders character. Ruby, I don't watch EastEnders. I used to for many years when I was a kid. Well, my mum did. And when EastEnders was always on after my bedtime. I think it came on at like 8 o'clock in the evening. And I used to do that thing where you start to try and blend in with the furniture. So I would sit and watch EastEnders really quietly just so I could get an extra half an hour of not going to bed. Okay, anyway. Anywho. Right, Frank Thomas. Rheumatoid, that's how you say that, isn't it? Arthritis. We've whittled it down. Oh, this is great. He is on orthopedy. I don't think we need to do anything else with him. Why are you talking to me about this guy? I don't need to do anything with this guy. Barbara Williams. Oh, this is the lady that might have just come in. She's got lead poisoning. Holy smokes, she's got lead poisoning. The therapy for which we can't actually do on the emergency department. So we need, and she could die from this, right? We've got high levels, she could collapse. So we need to actually get her the treatment super fast. But while we're here, while she's on the emergency department, I mean, I can see because I know all the little icons because I'm insane, but it's always best to just check, are there any other things here that could cause her to crash? Any other things that could cause her to crash. Now we can see some mediums that are causing her discomfort and stuff, but there's nothing else here that is high. So I don't need to do anything else here quickly, which is great because we need to get people off trauma. The thing we need to do most is get her this therapy. So we're going to send her straight to the internal medicine department, which we can see up here, it's internal medicine. And so they're sending her to the high dependency unit because they know that she's high risk. And then we're going to arrange that therapy. Once she's got that therapy, we'll do other tests because then we know she's stable, she's okay, she's not going to die. So we'll worry about that later. We'll just get her what she needs, right? Just get her what she needs. Wow, never thought I'd learn a new trick after 700 hours of play. What did you learn? Which trick was that? Cool, I'm pleased. Okay, cool. I've been watching all the Project Hostel stuff from the beginning. Oh, Angel, fantastic. I'm pleased. It's the game's come a long way, and also has my ability to play it. It's quite crazy, isn't it? Been a while since I played infectious stuff. Oh, okay, so you're talking about where I select the department, he went to the normal ward, and then we know he's not infectious, so I can send him somewhere else, yeah. yeah, use the game's flaws against it, the flaws of the game used to your advantage, always. Okay, good. So, oh yeah, this is the lady with, that we potentially may need an eye patch. Can we do that? Can we do that? It looks like we've done pretty much all we can for this lady. We did the physical. We've taken her temperature. We haven't done the PCR testing. We are going to do that. We don't have to. See, I could just treat her and send her home right now. But we're in the process of just trying to make this hospital as busy as freaking possible. So we are going to do this PCR testing. And even though I could give her the meds right now to cure her problem, I'm not going to. I'm just going to make her suffer and walk around like, oh, my eye. Okay. Okay, I've given her some painkillers. That'll be enough, right? Dana Scott. Hello, Dana. All sorts could be wrong with Dana. And we've been doing examinations. It's not been going well. Look at all the examinations. We've even done lab work for Dana. And we seem to be none the wiser. Have we done an angio? We've done a CT. We did do an angio, right? Okay, because what I found is that when you're doing loads of tests and you've still got loads of different departments and loads of different things it could be, so many times it's like this vague cardiology issue. Just a quick angio and it's like, oh, it's that one. You know. Wow, we've done an evaluation. This lady's tricky. We're waiting for the microbial and the blood test. I think we're just going to have to wait for that. Could we send her on any other scans? We did the CT. I won't do the CT up her bum one, or the barroom swallow right now. We'll save her that. Yeah. So, and we've done the MRI and the angio and the CT. So We've kind of done all the scans we can do. And then we're doing a blood test and microbial. I've probably chosen those two, not because I'm looking at anything specific on this list, because this list is far too extensive to do that, but because they're quite a good catch-all, those two. Blood test and microbial can tell you quite a lot. And all that we know, she's a bit dizzy. I mean, how do you diagnose that? Why is she even in trauma? What happened? Why has she come into the ER department for a bit of dizziness? She hasn't even fallen over. This woman is overreacting to the max, and I want her off of here. Do you know what? Maybe we could just pick a random department. No, because then I'll get confused about why she's on that department when that wasn't the thing that was wrong with her. If we need space quickly on the ER, we know who to get rid of. Right, okay. I bet it's a neuro thing. Really? You think it might be a neuro thing? Okay. All right. It could be. Because we did the angio, so, you know, it's probably not that. Or there's another one with the guts, and it's quite an invasive test. So I rarely do it. But as a result, even though it can't kill them, I don't think, it like gallstones or something. Or the gallbladder, so it could eventually burst, but it takes ages, something like that, you know. And there's a particular test for that. It could be one of those. Oh, I didn't test. Let's just have a quick. Do you know the gastro? Which I think can be found by this test here, which we can't do on emergency, which is probably why it always gets missed. What is here in internal medicine? Is that one here? The one that I'm thinking of, is it here? It's actually not. So it's not that. So, okay. We'll go for something neurological, okay? She's got a bit of a headache. That's jeez. Right. Frank is with Alfie Sweetener over in general surgery, hence all the blue. Hello, Frank. He's been vomiting. He has chest pains. Not good. The fact that he's on general surgery means it's probably one of these two top things here. So acute renal failure, or the esophagus. What we'll do a physical. Always do the physical. And we will do abdominal palpitations for the gut area, and for the sarcophagus, right, we will do an oral cavity inspection. Right, we'll do that. While we're at it, because he's got chest pains, we'll also just listen to the chest, and we'll take his blood pressure, because they're just good tests to do. Right, they're just good tests to do. Okay. She had a really mild virus, and it knocked out her inner ear, and then she took suppressants for it for 6 months, so it never resolved. Definitely didn't happen to me. Oh no, I know, I know. Oh my goodness. We'll watch out for that one. It did get me the 5 collapses for one patient objective. 5 collapses? I didn't know you could get 5 collapses. I thought you could get 3, and then don't they die after that? That's a crash. I suppose a collapse is different from a crash. Or no, it's not, is it? Just different terminology. 5 collapses. I don't even know how that's possible. How do you get that one? How do you even get that one? Okay. Mary. Mary, she had all sorts going on. It is an infectious disease. Look. How do you say that? Pertussis, also known as whooping cough, is a contagious respiratory disease. It is caused by bacteria, Bordetella, blah de blah de blah. Good. You can read about these diseases and stuff if you're so inclined. Clearly you haven't been trying hard enough, do you? Yeah. Note 4 heart failures and 1 other. I didn't even know that was possible to keep somebody like that alive. Did they die? Or did they actually survive? Did they have to survive in order to get that patient objective? Probably. Anyway, so we're going to send her to infectious diseases. Another one we're getting off of the ER would have got really busy because I would have made a code blue of just so many people. I would have, if they were close to collapse, I would have been sending them all straight to the ER and they would have been queuing. But it looks like we're getting through that now, which is fantastic. We're getting through. We've been through the reception rush. Now we've been through the ER rush. It's happening. We're getting through the day. She's going into isolation, hospitalization, so I guess this is actually infectious, this disease, and then we'll get her the medicine for it. So she is actually infectious because the game has told me. Mind you, it probably would be on here as well. I think it's never that simple to learn if it's contagious. They only seem to tell you in one. I don't think she is contagious. But the game's put her onto isolation automatically, suggesting that she is. But I can't see anywhere where it says that that whooping cough is infectious. But like they don't. I feel like it should be more clear. They should make it nice and clear. There's nothing here that says it, but it is because that's where she's gone. Anyway, fine. We've had a lab procedure uncovered. So Susan Thomas had a CT and we have an orthopedy issue. So this was the woman. No, she didn't have lots of things wrong with her because we haven't done many examinations. Oh, this is fine. So a simple fracture to the clavicle. Fantastic. Okay, brilliant. And we've discovered all of her symptoms, so we will now give her all of her medicine. Excellent. Will she need to go onto the ward for that? For this no, doctor's office. She should be fine. Yeah, she won't need to go to the ward. Brilliant. Although you get a lot of money for people on the ward, the ward. If we look at money, let's go to yesterday. Ward patients. So you can see the clinic patients here. So actually, but yeah, I don't think we have many patients on that ward. Yeah, so you can see here, for general surgery, it's almost 5,000 for patients that came in through the clinic, but the patients that were on the ward gave us 15,000, right? I mean, look at traumatology here, 1,300, right, for the clinic, 61,000 for those that were in the ward. That's where the real money is. Where the real money is, yeah. Okay. David Harris. David Harris is with Kevin Light. That's a slightly boring name. Let's see here. He's actually on a code blue. That's not good, is it? So he needs IV antibiotics really quickly. So what we need to do is just see, is there anything else here that could cause him to crash really quickly? And there is. We have this effusion where he'll need thoracentesis. So an MRI is sorely needed. He could also have a tachycardia, so he could have a heart attack if we're not careful. So he needs an ECG. I can't do heart monitoring or ECG in this room. I cannot do it. And it's one of those things where I wish the game would allow me to give the medicine, to give them the antiarrhythmic meds, even though I haven't diagnosed it, I just so that we can make sure he's stable. But I'm going to have to send him all around the building just to make sure he's not going to have a heart attack. Yeah, I know that this effusion could also make him crash, so we've got a problem with this chap. Now he's already on the correct department for things. He is, but he's not hospitalised yet. Now, it's risky moving hospitalised patients. There's always a risk when they move from department to department, and he needs to go to various different departments, and I'm going to try and get him to walk to them himself before he collapses. This may not work, but we're going to give it a go. It's the lowest risk way of doing it, and also the quickest way of him getting results. And the first thing we're going to do is make him walk himself with potential heart attack on the way to the MRI. We are going to send him straight to the MRI. I want him to get out of here, get out of this doctor's office and go to the MRI right now. Hospitalisation is over. Judy Cole was hospitalised in our fine facility, and we're going to give her some tranquilizers for some reason, for confusion. That seems a bit over the top, doesn't it? She's got a bit of confusion. We're going to trank her. Settle down. Just settle down. But also, right, if we did do that, we get more money. I'm not going to trank her. Come on. That's ridiculous. And she's 5-star in her comfort. Like, she's perfectly happy. That's overkill. But she's cured. So we're going to send her home. She'll get over her... Look at that. That was a good bill. She'll get over the confusion, right? We don't need to trank the woman. Just settle down. Settle down. Good. So Patricia, where are you? In the doctor's office. Right, she's in the emergency department, but we know that whatever is wrong with her is an infectious disease issue. And I think this little icon under here, is that... Oh no, it's just from that DLC, not saying that it's infectious. Whatever. How can I find out... Why no tell me? There used to be like a little orange thing, and I swear they've removed it. They've done this purposefully. I think they have. They're probably trying to be all clever, like now you don't know whether it's infectious or not. No, if I put her onto the infectious department, it'll tell me. It'll send her to that ward, or it won't. Okay. So, and they can't infect other people on the sort of the GP level. They have to be on a ward. The infectious diseases DLC was pretty poor. Anyway, let's see. What's the best test here? So we could do microbial. Oh my god, there could be all sorts going on here. As she's in this office, we are going to do a bunch of these tests now. One of these needs hospitalisation, the other one doesn't. Okay, what's the best thing to do here? Yeah, I think we will do some of these tests. This one would do both of these things here. Would cover that in its entirety. This one, on the other hand... This is a nightmare. Let's do serologic, but not the RT-PCR. The RT-PCR can cause quite a bit of discomfort, whereas I don't think the serologic is too bad. Oh, it's medium. Well, we certainly don't want to do both of those because it would really cause discomfort. And we don't necessarily need to do both of them because she may not have this, which means she wouldn't have this. Okay, we'll do the RT-PCR. And not this one. We'll only do this one if she is diagnosed as having chikungunya. I can read. Okay, we'll do that. Take those 2 samples, send her back out to the waiting room. That's what we're going to do. It should say it's highly contagious, right? Yeah. Not all diseases are. No. Berlin. But it used to, on the ones that were infectious, there used to be a little orange icon, but they only ever did it in one area. It wasn't consistent. But it seems like they've removed that now as well, because I swear it was in these things. I swear they've even removed that. But, as I say, it doesn't spread if they're on the ward. So if she's infectious and she comes out here and sits here for ages, it doesn't spread. It's not a very good DLC in terms of, you know, spreading infection. And when infection does spread, say on a ward, it's very limiting. It only affects staff, and it only affects 2 or 3 members of staff, and what it does is it just makes them walk around slower for 2 days, and that's it. And the game automatically puts the entire hospital into face masks and gloves. It doesn't even leave that choice to the players. It's not very good, and I didn't really think about the gameplay aspect of it in that respect. Yeah. Okay. Casey. Hello, Casey. Has a headache. He has some sleeping problems. He probably has hypertensive renal disease because he's on cardiology. So probably need to give him a biopsy. He could also have hypertension, and his arms are crossed. So he does have hypertension. We're going to do a physical, and we're also going to do a blood test, which I think is what we need, yeah, to get the hypertension. So we can then give him his hypertensive medication so that we can definitely stabilise him. So we're going to do all that. We are going to need to do the biopsy because we're trying to be nice and thorough, right? So we're going to do the biopsy. Where is the biopsy? Where's the biopsy? I go blind. There it is. Okay, there's the biopsy. We will do the biopsy because we just want to be nice and thorough. We want no hidden symptoms, right? All this other stuff is low-level importance, right? We don't need to worry about any of this other stuff right now. The hypertensive, we do. So blood pressure for Casey, because I can see, look, he's like this. So he will crash. There is a pulsating symptom hidden in here. There is, isn't there, Casey? Your heart hurts. Okay, Dana. Dana. It was so hard. Are you? Oh, there you are, Dana. There you are, Dana, hidden behind there. Hello. Good. She's got a bit of red eye. She is in neurology, so we immediately know it's nothing else here. It's neurology. So let's do a physical. Good simple test. And let's look at her eyeballs, shall we? Let's do a basic visual test. That feels like a good one. Let's do neurology. There's probably no point in doing neurological, but let's do it all the same. Let's examine her ear. No. Right. Which ones can we do right here in the office? So we can do, because we have some weird equipment in this one. I forget. Or do you have to? Is this the one we have to send? We have to send to a specific diagnosis unit at neurology. Which ones? Because there's somewhere they have to go and use equipment in a different room. Doctor's office. Yeah, see that neuro exam unit? I don't want to send her there right now. And we need it for that as well. But these two, I think, doctor's office. It does say doctor's office. That one we can definitely do. That says ICU, office and diagnostic unit at neurology. It's not consistent. I think we can do that one here. Just look at her eyeball, will you? just look at her eyeball. We've got a red... Oh yeah, so Christopher, just keeping an eye on Christopher. Christopher is on his way to the ICU. Okay, fine. Good. Just check on him. Eye patch, yeah, maybe. We might need to put some stuff in her eye first, like a finger or... and then put the eye patch over it. There is no Dana, only Zool. Zool! Wow. God, that's going back a bit. And you think the patient's going to the correct department is again compensating for the other patient going to the emergency. You can't tell if they can plan it. Well, no, so you don't have to build reception. See this room here? I don't know if you've actually played this, Bolin, but you don't have to build reception, but if you do, they can triage the patients. So if you don't build reception, they come straight in, then everybody goes to emergency, and then you're just the mug that has to work it out. Well, the doctors work it out and send them on, so you can have like this additional step. If you have reception, and we have reception for every department, they can try and triage them a little bit at the reception. And then they might say, actually, I think I know what's wrong with you. I'm going to send you to that department, or I'm going to send you to that department. The game, being what it is, always sends them to the correct department for what is wrong with them. So, yeah. Bit of a shame. Wish it didn't. But it does. I think, though, there is like an event where it can essentially make up the game makes up saying it's this problem, and you go ahead and do the tests and diagnose it for that problem, and then it comes back the next day. They return to the hospital the next day saying you diagnosed it wrong. It's like, no. But I think the game sort of does it deliberately, and it tends to do that a lot when you have low trained staff. Now all the staff in this hospital, I've been playing this game a long time with this staff in this hospital, so they're all pretty good, and I don't really get it anymore. For example, you can see the stats in this hospital, statistics. So you can see here, if you have like a magnifying glass, you can see that in this hospital we have successfully treated 16,904 patients. We've untreated, that means patients that we've sent away without treating them, 208. Not bad. Wrongly diagnosed, 32. And then we've killed or lost 54 patients. Not bad, eh? Not bad. So we've cured 98% of the patients that have come into this hospital out of over 17,000 patients that have come into this hospital over its lifetime. Not bad, eh? I've always played on my hospital. I played through the campaign, but then I've always played on my hospital, and we've slowly built it up from a field. And then I stuck it on the workshop as well, because people were very keen to play on my hospital. But it takes a bit of a beast of a PC to run this hospital, I can tell you. See, Paul Martin here is on infectious diseases. He's been triaged. It says triaged at reception. He's been triaged straight into infectious diseases. So I know, right? I freaking know that he's on the right department. I don't need to worry about all this other nonsense on here. Let's do a physical, you know, the usual. Blood pressure, abdominal, listen to his chest. Doing all of that. Let's do all of that. He's not crossing his arms, so he's fine. He's fine, and he's not on a code blue. It's all good. I don't know if have you played this, Berlin? Have you played this game? I don't know. Or are you new to it and checking it out? Okay, Judy. Hello, Judy. Hello, Judy. She's on internal medicine, so we know that it's either this or this. Good. We should do the physical. Then also, what have we got here? So that would be found by microbial. Also, she could be dehydrated. I can't tell whether her arms are crossed or not. We could spin. They are not. So she doesn't have dehydration. But let's pretend we don't know that. We've already arranged the physical examination for this thing that could potentially make her collapse. But she's not going to. And then up here, again, it's the microbial. Let's also, I'm seeing a lot of temperature potential here. So let's take her temperature. Let's take the cultivation. That sample. Let's take that because it'll tell us which one of these two it is. We might be able to work it out through other examinations though. For example, the physical examination could tell us tenderness, which means we would know it's this, because tenderness isn't something that comes with this up here. Or we could find that she's got excessive belching, which would tell us that it's this. But do you know, in my experience, they hardly ever present themselves. So might as well do the cultivation, which we're trying to be thorough anyway. So we'll do it. Okay, you may or may not have this streaming in the background while playing the game yourself. Okay, excellent. I've only played it for around 600 hours. Oh, you've played it for a long time too. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so you're a hardened Project Hospital player. Fantastic. Do you enjoy it too? Huh. Do you have all the DLC? Do you have a favourite DLC? Mine is probably the Doctor one, right? Which I think was actually a free update, wasn't it? I think it was a free update, and it just meant this. We could have this Doctor mode, which I always play. I always play in Specialist mode. It was so good. Do you remember when that came out? Oh my god, that was an amazing update. That's probably my favourite update. I'm an addicted Project Hostel player. This is fantastic, Berlin. I'm so pleased that I'm playing something that you're totally into. This is awesome. Right, okay, Barbara, what's happening? Oh yes, the jaundice lady. That's it. The jaundice lady. So we did a whole bunch of physical examinations, found Jack. Well done, B. Well done. I guess we're probably going to have to get into some lab work. All right, we're going to have to get into some lab work. Not that. So, ooh, there's a scan. We could do a scan. UCG could be useful. The gastroscopy thing. What's that? You know what I'm saying. That transient elastography. Slur my way through that one. The USG again. So we've got a couple of exams and then the MRI, this sort of the odd one out. Let's do the one that covers the vast majority of these, shall we? The USG and this transient elastography. Okay, good. Okay, good. So we're going to have to send her away. Now, my hospital, we have a whole department for these types of things, right? We have over here, right? She has to come out of this door here, go across this zebra crossing and get into this department, which has significantly shrunk to how big it used to be. It has significantly shrunk. You can build these rooms for each department, but I don't. I use the radiology one, so all departments can use the same ones, because I found that they were hardly ever used and I was spending a lot of money on staff that were doing absolutely nothing, and I needed to make room on the top floor for more surgery rooms, so I moved pathology down here and just shrunk this down, and I just used the radiology versions, and then we've got the neuro exam lab, but this works much better and they're much more busy now. Much more busy. It's much better, you know. It's good, it works. Doctor Mode made the game for me. Same, Chrissy, same. I don't know if I would still be playing it today if I didn't have Doctor Mode. Probably not, you know. Yeah, thank you, Blarla, for making this hot and humid hump day more entertaining. Please keep up your amazing content, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and week. Much love. Oh, thank you, Red. Red till dead. Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you. You peeps are the best. Your hair is beautiful, Blarla. Thank you. Oh, what's with all these compliments? You're gonna make me blush. I think either Doctor Mode or Hospital Services. Hospital Services, yeah. I wish that the canteen business was a bit better on Hospital Services, but I really loved the addition of the pharmacy, right? Yeah. At pharmacy. Oh, and you like the cafeterias. You like the pharmacy and the cafeterias. I was a bit underwhelmed by the cafeterias. There's a good mod though, so that customers can use the cafeterias as well. I don't think I've turned that on just yet, but I'm gonna. Training rooms are so useful too. Yes. Yeah. Do you want to see my training room? I have a training room. I have a training room. I don't really train them anymore because they're all pretty well trained. There's my canteen. That's my canteen. And then the training room is above it. Look. There's my training room. I've got like a big library section, because they do that, don't they? And then we've got like these, let's just get rid of this a minute. We've got like a computer area out here where they can use all the computers, and there's even like printers and things right over here. And then you can have your own little study section if you want a bit quiet. And then I've also done like the big projector room with a little breakout area at the back. Oh yeah. And there's even a little toilet there. It's right by the ICU, look, because not many patients don't really come up here. They walk around this section, but they don't come across this sky bridge unless they're being pushed around on a bed, on a gurney, right? This is the overflow thing. Oh yeah, and then you remember House MD, right? That show. So I've made up my sort of Lisa Cuddy office, right, you know, where I pretend to have the Dean of Medicine. It's actually just the janitor's office, you know. You can have the head of the janitors now. But it's Dean, right? Dean Button. I pretend in my mind that she's the Dean of Medicine and this is Lisa Cuddy's office. Anywho, Mary Hill. Should we get back to it? We've had a bit of a break. Let's get back to it. Good. What is the time, actually? My phone is not showing me the time. It's blank screen. Okay. Right. Good. Mary Hill is on emergency, and she probably has a fracture or a contusion. Okay. The best way really to find out is to x-ray. I mean, there's nothing else really to be done. I think in either direction, I am going to get her off the ER right away. We're going to send her to orthopedy. She's not in any danger. They've put her on the high dependency unit, I think it's overkill. She could have just sprained her ankle. We'll send her straight there. Once she's there, I'd like her to get a lower limb x-ray. X-ray, lower limb. Simple as. Just get her out of here. Why? Why have you put her onto the high dependency unit? You're mad. It's madness. Silly game. Susan. Susan is the one that probably has this poisoning. We're still waiting for the results of this blood test to absolutely be sure. But basically, she has received all of her treatments. So we're just waiting for her blood test result to confirm that she has the methanol poisoning, which we know that she does. So it's fine. Jane, I bet we find out that she doesn't. It's something completely different. And that'd be amazing. Neurology. Where is she? She's going to the labs. Okay, she's going to the labs. Is that her that she's there? Okay, she's going to the labs. The patient is waiting for you to plan another examination. So her microbial sampling came back negative. Okay. And she's had one of her eye inspections. She's going to go and have the other one. I really wish they had done both eye examinations before sending her for the lab work, but whatever. You be like that. Karen Thomas has a deep wound in her hand and she's hemorrhaging. This is terrible news. Karen. Let Clint Stench get right on the case. We're going to give her these anti-hemorrhagics. Right, just sort that out now. Just get that done first. First job is that. Okay, just do that. Michael Jones. Hello, welcome. Michael Jones has crossed arms. He is a code blue. He's on traumatology with Susan Nemesis. Okay. Good. Now, there is a really good selection of examinations to do on traumatology. Well, first, the physical. Really good. And then we also like to do this one, the hypoxia test. Very important to do. We like to also do blood pressure. I guess it's like the usual, isn't it? But we add the hypoxia, right? The temperature, the hypoxia test. Where is it? There, the pulse. It's that one. The pulse oximeter one, right? It's a really good one to do. And yeah, I think that's it with the physical. Oh, and then doing the evaluation. Might as well always just do the evaluation here. 9 times out of 10, that just whittles it down. You can do it all here. Excuse me, you can do it all here. Send them on their way. Right? It's like I'm trying to fight hiccups. Yar. Pirate patch, yar. Did you see one wearing an eye patch? Did you see one? Ruby? They are kicking around. They are here. They do exist. Mark Lewis is in a wheelchair. Immunoglobulin. He's had IV. Neurology. So CIPD. He's all done. We are good. He's done. He just needs to recover now. He goes back to his ward bed and recovers. And then he pays us lots of money tomorrow. Christopher Miller has made it to the ICU. And he's had his IV antibiotics. Right. So, we are pretty sure that there has been a complication with surgery. Now, we might have just dealt with it and it's all fine. But we do have a hidden symptom here. I'd feel better if we found it. One of the things we're going to do is, because the septic shock suggests that there could be blood loss, right? Or some sort of infection. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this blood analysis ICU. So this is a blood analysis that they can do. It doesn't go to the labs. It stays right here on the ICU, and they actually come here to their own tiny little lab and they run the blood test instantly, super fast. We're going to do that. We are absolutely going to do that. We're also going to do another physical examination. So if there's any nicks or cuts that he's bleeding from, or he's got noticeable infection or something, physical examination, good way to go. And sometimes, although this is more cardiology patients, blood pressure. But I don't think we'll worry about that. I think it will probably be found here with one of those two. So we're going to do that. Blood analysis, ICU, and a physical examination. I'm pretty sure we'll find it with one of those two. It's rare that it's anything else. A PS blood control is like the blood analysis for the ICU, where you do a blood test after a surgery just to check that everything is okay and that they don't have infections and things like that. Now because he had cardiovascular surgery, this Thomas Garcia. So I would have ordered a PS blood control. I do it as a standard thing, just in case. And it came back negative. But he does have a hidden symptom, so I can imagine me thinking, well, something may have gone wrong with the surgery. Now, I can't remember if we had discovered all of his symptoms before he went into surgery, because this is another thing. Before they go into surgery, if you've discovered all their symptoms and then they come out of surgery with a hidden symptom, you know you've messed up, right? You freaking know you messed up. So let's see here. He could have chest pain, which is found by thorax, and we've not done that examination. So let's do the thorax percussion. Let's do the CRP, which we can see here. He could have fatigue. Did we interview him? We did interview him. Doesn't have fatigue. He could have elevated LDL. Have we done a blood test other than the PS blood control? Because I don't think a PS blood control would pick up something like elevated LDL. So we will do a normal, just a run-of-the-mill into the labs blood draw. And then low hemoglobin, which also comes from the blood test. So we'll do these, and hopefully one of those will discover the problem. Also, let's tell him to get some rest. Not that he needs telling. And the recommendations, I'm not sure what that's for. Is that for dizziness? Yes. Okay. Sit down, put your head between your knees. Or sometimes, when I had dizziness when I was at the hospital, they put my legs up in the air. Because I had a procedure, and then I got dizzy, and they said, did you eat breakfast this morning? And I said no, and they were like, so yeah, got into trouble. Okay, Mark Lewis. Mark Lewis is all done. He is good. We know all of his symptoms. We've treated everything. He just needs to recover. Fantastic. He'll go home tomorrow morning. We're very, very happy. Karen. Oh, Karen's the lady with the deep wound on her hand. Okay, so we stopped the hemorrhaging. That was good. She has degloved skin. An open wound, hand injury, I should say. So let's see here. I mean, a physical examination, I think, is probably all that we need, is it not? It is. Physical examination should find everything. So let's do that, shall we? Why don't we, Clint Stench, have a look at the hand? It feels like a good starting point. Deep wound on the hand. Let's take a look at it. Richard Anderson has high fever. First thing we're going to do is deal with that before he collapses. Okay. Now, he also, though, could have one of these infectious diseases. Now, malaria is infectious, right? Right. That's an infectious one, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. What's needed to find that? An ELISA test. What about this one? ELISA. Okay, so it's all going to be done through ELISA. Thanks again for making me want to play this again. Big fan of yours, Blarla. Thank you, Grace Ann. Oh, I'm pleased that you enjoy this game also. I can't get enough of this game, and I start getting sort of itches where I have to play it. Yeah, I enjoy playing Doctor. I do. Okay. While we're here, we might as well do the physical and look at, because if we could discover sort of breathing problems or abdominal pain, then we would know it's malaria, right? So let's do abdominal palpitations. Let's listen to the chest. Let's take a temperature. It's not going to help us distinguish one from the other, but you know, they had a high fever, so I don't know. Just do it. Okay. Good. Right, Mary. No, this is Margaret. Margaret had a low voltage burn. They want us to trank her because she's mildly confused, which I refuse to do. Just send her home. She's fine. She's fine. She's all cured. Send her home. She'll watch a bit of TV. She'll be fine in the morning. Be absolutely fine. We've discovered all of her her symptoms. Frank Thomas, where are you, Frank? He's on the orthopedic ward. Okay, not the emergency one, just regular hospitalisation. That's great. He had a CT. Discovered nothing. Okay, cool. And he's having serologic testing. So I'm guessing Frank had lots of different things wrong with him, and we did a bunch of different tests, but somewhere along the line we found the issue, I guess. And now we need... Oh, okay. The CT could have found that. Oh, and the serologic testing might find this. Oh, no, so we're well on it. Did we do a blood draw? We did a blood draw. It came back negative. Okay. We did the physical examination. All this came back negative. Okay. So has that. So has that. So has that. Did we take a temperature? We did. That's negative. That's fine. So it is just waiting for the results of the serologic testing. Okay. Frank, you're doing really well, Frank. Proud of you. Jane Wilson. All sorts going on here. So she's on the regular ward for infectious diseases. We know what's wrong with her. She seems to be having a bunch of tests, and but we've given her a load of treatments. So many of them are active right now. Not much we can really do here. We're trying to find these hidden symptoms, aren't we, by CBC testing and a blood test. But there's nothing for us to do with Jane. It's just saying we've administered her medicine. Is that okay? Yes, that's fine. Karen. Karen. She was the lady that had lots of different things. Cardiology. Myocarditis. Anyway, she's got a heart condition and it could kill her. We've discovered it. So that's good. We've discovered it. What does she need? The IV antibiotics. So we'll get her back. They can do that right there on the ward. I'm not putting this final diagnosis in case she crashes. I'd much rather she went to trauma than the ICU at this point. So let's not put the final diagnosis in. Okay, just in case she does crash, which she might. Deep wound. So we found all the problems with the deep wound here. We have indeed. So we need to close the wound. We need to do some emergency care. We can't do the replantation. Surgically reattach a body part or finger. Is she lost? She needs it though. I mean, she doesn't need it. We could send her home without doing it, but it seems a bit off, doesn't it? I think what we will do, because we want to be thorough, and if we can reattach it, whatever it is, finger, presumably, we should reattach it, right? So we'll do that here, because we can do these right here in this office. So we'll let Stench do that. And then we'll come back to you, Karen, right? I'm not going to send you home minus a finger, all right? I could, I'm not going to. Because we can put her onto the ward and earn a lot more money. No, I just don't want to send her home with her finger. It's just that money is like a side benefit, right? Jessica. Excellent. That's fine. You've had the examination. We know what it is. Cool. You've actually also already had the treatment for it, so you're fine. You're going to be going home soon, Jessica. Mark Moore. Hello, Mark. Oh, so the blood test did let us know that he had anemia. He does have anemia. Oh, look at that. He had anemia. So this is the guy that we know could crash. Is that him? But we were sending him... No, that's a different guy, isn't it? Sending him to sort of walk around. No, this is a different guy, but he could crash. And he needs triple therapy treatment. He actually needs to be hospitalised quite quickly, actually. We're going to turn that off. And we're going to send him to the No, we're going to send him to the regular. I'm going to try and... They can always upgrade him. Try and keep them as low as possible. Let's just get him hospitalised. See if we can get him hospitalised without him crashing. And if he does crash, he'll go to trauma because I've removed final diagnosis. Okay, right. Okay, good. Robert, with your giant cells. Robert's back, everybody. He doesn't need to be hospitalised. He needs these corticosteroids. Okay, good. But we'll also do all this other stuff for all these other symptoms that he's had. Make him a happy bunny. Send him on his way, right? Send him on his way. It's going to be great. Good. What have you all been saying here? Blarla plushie merch. Yeah. Definitely want plushie merch. I want plushie Zeeks, right? And Blarlas, but Zeeks as well. I actually want the Zeke one. It's going to happen. You should always remember to prescribe rest to your ICU patients because it makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. You love it. Definitely a big 2 Point fan though. Like, cool. My most fave games. 'Cause of me. Aw. Excellent. They are both great games. I always find it weird though when people compare them. Which one would you prefer to play? This one or that one? It's like comparing Mario Kart to Gran Turismo. It's just weird, isn't it? Why can't you enjoy both of them for very different reasons? They're very different games. So I enjoy very much 2 Point Hospital. But I also love Project Hostel. Why can't you love both? Why have we got to pick and choose? Okay. Good. You need to start your own hat clothing range. I will. I've got accountant issues with when I've sorted out my accountant. Then yeah. I am. It's a plan. It's a plan to get some merch going, and I really want plushes. And shirts. I didn't think of hats. But I suppose, should I like make a beanie? Should I make like a Blarla beanie? Maybe, eh? Wow, didn't think of that. It's a good idea though. Makes sense. Okay, Susan is fine. No, we have a hidden symptom. She was the one that was on life support that I didn't want to send to the ICU. Yes. Yeah, it's probable that she has confusion or something, but because she's unconscious and on life support, we can't interview her. We can't do speech listening. You know, there are exams here that we cannot do. We did the blood draw, but it was negative. So we're probably never going to find these hidden symptoms. But the point is that we know what's wrong with her and she's being treated for it. And then she'll go home. So Susan will be fine. She's out of the woods. That's beautiful. Paul Martin here on infectious diseases. Hepatitis, we're just not sure whether it's E or B. Okay. But we've managed to whittle it down. He had quite a few things, didn't he? So we've done, physical. We found quite a lot from physical, actually. Excellent. So best way to distinguish between these two. So we could do a blood test. I think the blood test would be less evasive, would it not, than the serologic? Do you know, I'm not sure. Blood test. If we did a blood draw, where is it? Blood draw. Medium discomfort. They're both medium discomfort, so I suppose it doesn't really matter. But the blood draw could also tell us random other things, couldn't it? Let's do the blood draw. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the blood draw. We'll do process of elimination. If the blood draw comes back negative, then it's probably hepatitis E. Right? You've got the logic of that, right? If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you to all my Patreons for their continued support.